Right, welcome to another lesson in high school ICT. In this lesson, we want to look at formulas, how we create a formula, and how we use the autofill. And there are just a couple of extra things that I want to show you. So before we start, I just want to show you with spreadsheets some of the things that we can do. If I type Jan for January, and I pull this down, you see it goes January, February, and if I type it in small letters and I pull down, it will do the same. And days of the week, I can put Monday and pull down, and I can put Monday and pull down. Okay, so what you saw me do is that I went to the cell and it changes from this white cross, and I go to this bottom corner, it goes to a black cross, I left click, and that is my autofill, so it pulls down. It also works with numbers. If I had 3 and 9, so let's just do this quickly. If I had 3 over here and I pull that down, it just copies it. I can also highlight Control C and paste Control V to do the same thing. However, if I highlight these two and I pull, try that again. If I highlight these two, okay, going too quickly. If I highlight these two cells and I go to the autofill and I pull down, then the computer recognizes the pattern that I'm counting in sixes, so 9 plus 6, 15, plus 6, 21, plus 6, 27, etc. Okay, so keep that in mind, and the autofill as well over there. So let's right, I've cleared their contents. So you'll see that when you create a formula, there's a difference between a function and a formula. A function is something that you have built into your computer. We will look at that in another lesson, but for today's lesson we want to look at a formula, and a formula is something that you physically go and create. Functions and formulas both start with an equal sign, and I click on my cell, and as I said, that is the cell reference. It's B3, and you can see it's B3 over there, and I can either plus, minus, divide, or times. And please keep in mind BODMAS, brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, to keep it in that format. So B3 plus C3, and I get 72. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to again autofill, click, pull down. Okay, and you'll see that in each one it took these two cells because it recognized the pattern. If I said B3 plus C4 for this answer, then the next one would go B4 plus C5, because it would recognize, sorry, C5, it would recognize the pattern going across like that, for example. So that was addition. If I wanted to do subtraction, I could then say equals, and I could say B3 minus C3, and again pull down. If I want to divide, it will be that cell divided by that cell, so I'm going to say equals and the backslash and C3 again gives me 3.5, and I can pull down. And we will look at how we later we'll look at the number grouping, at the formatting of numbers, etc. If I want to multiply, again the equal sign, and take note I'm actually clicking on the cell, so that is the cell reference, and I use the asterisk and the C3, and it gets multiplied out, and once again autofill and pull down. Okay. Something else that you want to keep in mind is something called absolute reference, so that's cell referencing, and relative referencing is using the cell relative to or adjacent to the or next to the other cell. If I want to, for example, take these totals over here, I'm just going to put them in color, and I want to multiply them, say, by 10, for example, or increase it by 10%, or whatever it is I want to do. Then I'm going to say this cell, which is G3 times J2, G4 times J2. So each time we're going to pick up that pattern, And so what I need to do is to lock this cell to anchor it. Otherwise, if I say G3 times J2, then the next one would be G4, and it will pop down to J3, because remember I said it picks up whatever the pattern is, whether it's going across or next to it, etc. So what I want to do is over here say equals, and that cell, which is G3 multiplied by J10, and now what I'm going to do is my absolute reference, I'm going to say $J, so dollar the column and then dollar the row. Okay, so it's locked, and now when I pull down, you can see each time it kept multiplying by J2 if you look over here. And if I didn't do that, so let's go and demonstrate if I didn't lock that cell. Okay, so I get that number, but look what happens now. 0, 0, 0, because now it went to J3 and it went to J4 because it kept that pattern. So that is my absolute reference. A dollar sign before the name of the column and a dollar sign in front of the row. All right, so go practice that. As I said, something else just to add, you can create a formula using functions as well. But a function is something that is built in. Formula is something that you go and create. You can say you would go type in equals, click on a cell. You then might want to bring a function in the formula you're creating. Right, till next time then, stop the video, go back, watch, and we'll catch up soon.